Good morning. Good morning. If you're watching the recording, you can skip ahead about a minute to get to the content. My phone says my connection is weak. It better not be. I pay entirely too much money for a weak internet connection. Okay, let me give you all a moment to get on, and I'm actually going to share this in a couple spots. When you pop on, let me know who you are and where you're from so I can shout you out and say good morning. All right, almost there. Today is the first day of spring. Whatever. Hold on a second. Do you see that? That does not say spring. That says there's snow on the ground. I got naked trees. That is not spring. So I don't care what the freaking calendar says. It's cold. It is not spring here in the New England area. Okay. Hey, hello. Hey, little sister. Hey, Ray. Okay, so let's get down with the get down. So I want to welcome you to the Daily Revision Morning Show. My name is Lusandra Everett, and I am your host. I am here Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. I saw somebody post yesterday, why do people say ish? Okay, so I got kids, there's a life, and you know what? 9 o'clock is the goal. Sometimes it's on the ish side, so I say 9 o'clock-ish. When you tune into my show, you're going to hear about various topics. You're going to hear about tax topics, as I am a tax professional, and you're going to hear about other things about just life, about how to do this whole thing better. Right now, we've got a lot of tax stuff going on because it is tax season and people got tax questions. And so that is what I am here for. So today, I'm talking about 1099s. I got a great question from a friend of mine, Miss Sonia Jennings, asking about 1099 filing requirements for VAs. And I said, well, let's just make a whole show about 1099s. Okay. So, thank you, Ray. I appreciate it. Hey, Sylvia. Okay. So what are 1099s? Who are they for? 1099s are for independent contractors. Now, as far as the IRS is concerned, an independent contractor is someone who is considered self-employed, and you provide services for other businesses, okay? So you could be a notary public, for instance. It would be an independent contractor. And people hire independent contractors. The military hires independent contractors all the time, right? So, but as far as the IRS is concerned, you are considered self-employed and you must pay self-employment tax. Okay. But there are some stipulations still with an independent contractor to be considered that and not withhold any taxes. Then you can't control how they do their work. You can control the result. You know your desired result. However, you don't control how they do it, when they do it, that kind of thing. You just, you have a desired result. Good morning, Winetta. So when you're dealing with an independent contractor, you don't control how they do their work, when they do their work. You just have a specific result. Now, in contrast to employees, you have you control when they work, you control how long they work, and you control how they work. So in that respect, with a W-2 employee, you would be required to withhold taxes because you have that much control. Now, for an independent contractor, you don't have that much control. So that's the difference between a W-2 employee and an independent contractor. Now, there are some employers who try to get around the withholding part by hiring you as an independent contractor, but they control everything. That is against the rules. No worries, Sonia, honey. I'm going to answer your question. So, so if you know of someone who is working as an independent contractor, but they're really an employee, you need to tell them that's against the rules. Okay. So, here are some deadlines. So for deadlines, which has recently changed. Hey, Aunt, if you pay a contractor $10 in royalties or more, or compensation is $600 or more, you have to file a 1099. And the deadline to file that is now January 31st, and that changed starting this year. So that has to be done by January 21st. W-2s should also be received by their employees by January 31st as well. Now, the question is, really, what are the requirements? Because especially in the home business industry, we often have virtual assistants, independent contractors that are overseas. All right. So here, and this is from IRS Publication 515, which is governed by Internal Revenue Code 1441 through 1445. You don't want to go read all that, okay? You don't want to go read all that. Publication 515, yes, the Internal Revenue Code, you don't want to do that. Unless you have trouble sleeping, it'll knock you right out. Okay, so if you have an independent contractor who is performing their service for you on U.S. soil, and you pay them more than $600 in compensation, you must file a 1099. Now, if you have an independent contractor who is foreign and they perform their work on foreign soil, then you do not have to issue a 1099. There is no requirement for that. The expense is still a deduction. You can still deduct the expense as long as you've got your record keeping. We talk about documentation all the time. As long as you have documentation to support you paying that overseas contractor, it is still a business deduction, but there is no 1099 filing requirement for foreign soil. Now, if you have a foreign person who is performing your services on U.S. soil, there is a 1099 filing requirement, because if they are actually in the United States or United States territory, they will have a tax requirement for themselves. So you have to issue the 1099. But if you're outsourcing overseas, there is no 1099 filing requirement for them. That's for them and they government and however they do taxes. So there you go. Now, here's the thing I want to point out. Again, it's the documentation. As long as you have an invoice or something from your contractor or a timesheet, something to document, you paying this person, then that's what you need to support that. Now, and the reason I'm going back over this is because I know someone will listen to this and try to do something shady. I got people always trying to game the government. Please do not. Okay. Just don't. All right. Have that supporting documentation, whether it's your timesheet, invoice, or something to support that expense in your business. So it's still tax deductible. You don't have to file a 1099 for foreign people who perform work for you on foreign soil. And that's the nuts and bolts of it. It just doesn't get any simpler than that. Now, if you are the independent contractor and you are performing the work here in the U.S., then and you don't get a 1099, that does not mean that you don't have to report the income. Okay. Whatever income you receive, if you are in the United States, you must report your income. So, and let me explain how this looks, because there is this nasty rumor that's going around the home business industry that says if you make less than $600 that you don't have to report your income. That is not true at all. If you earn income in the United States and you are on U.S. soil, you must report your income. At the same time, if you're an independent contractor, you're a home business owner, whatever it is you want to call it, you also have the expenses that you can deduct from that income in order to perform your work. And so you need to be able to document said expenses and also report your income. So I really hope that answers the question about your 1099s. So if you pay one contractor, not $600 total, one person. So if you pay me $600 in a year, which I would love, But if you pay me $600 or more to perform work for you, then you would issue a 1099 if I'm an independent contractor, okay? Because that's still self-employment income. Now, if you pay $600 total spread out, $300 to this person, $300 to that person, you have no 1099 filing requirement. If you must file a 1099, it must be done by January 31st. That's your deadline. I didn't look up penalties for that. I'm not sure if there are any, but whatever. If you receive independent contractor work, if you perform independent contractor work and you don't receive a 1099, you still have a requirement to report your income. Okay, let me see if I'm looking at my notes here to make sure I don't miss anything. Hold on. I got notes up everywhere. Okay, so that's really it, okay? If you need to find a 1099, you can Google that. You can download one from irs.gov, and you can download one. And there are other requirements for employees and other types of 1099s, but for my home business owners, this is what applies to you. Okay, so that's it for me. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you got some good information from that. Thanks for the question, Sonia, because like I said, I was looking for that myself. So I appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to my live notifications so you don't miss anything. And join us on the Winning Women Network midday activation call today at noon. The number is 425-909-1919. All right. So that's it for me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.